Gavin, in 10 weeks' time, you're going to be in New Jersey on your way to Camp Crystal Lake. Ooh. Do you feel any more prepared?
Ish. We're getting there.
Ish isn't good enough.
Yeah.
You need to be confident.
Yeah, which I'm not at the minute.
But maybe today will help.
Okay, fantastic.
We're talking about Friday the 13th, the final chapter, the last ever movie in the series.
That's so weird.
The fourth film. I think they did think it was going to be.
Yeah.
They wanted it to be.
What happens in the final chapter?
Oh, I'll tell you. Continuing directly on from the events of part 3, Jason comes back from the dead and returns to Crystal Lake to do what he does best, kill a bunch of horny kids. Yeah. But this time, Jason meets a worthy adversary.
This one, even because it was the final chapter, it's you have to. I try to get in my own mind to watch it like that.
Yeah.
So even though I know there's
one's
coming
had like
after,
pre-promotion as the final chapter.
As the
so you're
final
going
chapter.
in going, this is the end.
Well, I feel like everybody making it thinks it's the final chapter as well. So it makes sense to watch it, even though you know there's a fuckload more films coming.
Well, I think they felt like, not like they were slumming it, but they weren't getting enough respect making these films. The producers were. There was this idea that Paramount were a bit embarrassed by them.
Well, they're not embarrassed by the money, are they?
Well, they're quite happy with that, aren't they? Oh, I'm embarrassed by my new house.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a really strange thing, because now, I feel like you flash forward to now, I feel like everyone making horror movies right now would kill to have a bankable thing like Friday the 13th.
Blumhouse is built on it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what? Let me have a look at the spreadsheets.
Yeah.
You make these films for 2 million and they make 30 million.
Yeah.
Let's do one of them.
We'll probably do them.
How long do they take to edit? 6 weeks?
Absolutely.
Every year we do.
Do Maz live, do in one shot, I reckon. Like, that's what we should do. How does this is interesting? How does it connect?
So similar to
part
part 3, we're going straight on.
Love it.
So parts 2, 3, and 4 are in very close continuity across a few days, which actually settles these films with like this film with a little bit of a plot problem later on.
Yeah.
But last episode, we were talking about when the events of Friday the 13th Part 3 take place.
Yes.
And we said it was Saturday. But I actually I went back and like checked it all.
Okay.
Do you want to go through this?
Yes, please.
Because it's quite long-winded. Yeah. So I've written it down so I don't confuse myself.
Because I was just thinking it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No. So, right. Bear with me, okay? We're going to go through this point by point.
Yeah.
So, start at the beginning. Largely, the events of Friday the 13th Part 1 take place on Friday the 13th.
Good.
1979, 1980.
That checks out.
Part 2 takes place on Friday the 13th, 5 years later.
Yes.
So we have that time jump between parts 1 and 2.
Yeah.
5 years later, the events of Part 2, all those killings from which Ginny emerges as the survivor, take place on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Okay? So for the following, all my observations, I'm going to be basing it on an observation of day and night cycles. To indicate the passage of time, okay?
Yeah.
Because that's all we've got to go on. So at the end of the Part 2, we see Ginny taken away from the cabin in what is presumably the morning after the night before. The night before being Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
So all the murders happen Saturday morning. Ginny is taken out of that cabin. Muffin is gone. Paul is missing. And she's bundled into the back of an ambulance.
Yeah.
That is Saturday the 14th. Okay.
Yeah.
At the beginning of Part 3, shop owner Edna hears about the events of Part 2 on the evening news.
Yeah, that's right.
The footage of Ginny being placed into an ambulance plays as newsreel footage, and the newsreader refers to Ginny being taken to hospital today.
Right.
So Edna and Harold get murdered on the evening of Saturday the 14th.
Yes.
The Part 3 kids, while driving to Higgins Haven, see the corpses of Edna and Harold being removed by the coroner, presumably the next day, because they would be discovered the next day, we think. Which means the events of Part 3 take place on Sunday the 15th.
Yeah.
Now, still with me?
Yeah.
Final chapter.
That all makes sense.
Final chapter.
Yeah.
There's some slight ambiguity here depending on how you interpret the sequence of events involving Chrissy. So at the end of Part 3, we see Chrissy kill Jason in the barn.
Yes.
And his body is laid there at night.
Yeah.
She then goes into the canoe
Yeah.
And then we have that dream sequence where Mrs. Voorhees grabs her.
Yeah.
Now, if we think that's not real, the final shot of part 3 is Ginny being led out of the house in the morning by a cop, put into a car, screaming.
Yeah.
And she gets driven off in daytime.
That's what we're saying, yeah.
So that's what we're saying. So the final chapter opens with a big flashy scene of Jason's body being recovered from the barn at night.
That's mad, yeah.
So what I'm saying is that the evening of when Chrissy is removed in the morning,
which would be the Monday.
So let me, So if this is the evening killed, Chrissy's.
This is important.
So Chrissy is So I'm inclined to think Chrissy kills Jason.
Yeah.
She spends the evening in the canoe or in the house.
Yeah.
The cops turn up the next day, and Jason's body is retrieved in the evening.
Yeah.
That would mean that all takes place on Monday the 16th.
Yeah.
So Jason's taken to the morgue on the evening of Monday the 16th.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. He escapes overnight.
Yeah.
The next day we see our kids in part 4 driving to Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
They get there in the evening.
Yeah.
We see Mum Tracy reading the newspaper reporting on Jason's missing body.
Yeah.
Evening edition of the paper, presumably.
Yeah, they're on it.
This all takes place on Tuesday the 17th.
Right.
The next day is when the kids meet the twins, go skinny dipping, and in the evening Jason attacks them. Yeah. Which means the killings of the final chapter take place on Wednesday the 18th.
Jesus.
You with me?
He must be knackered.
Yeah. So the film is actually Wednesday the 18th.
Right, okay,
That's what we're on.
That's what we're on. So he's been up and murdering since Thursday previous.
He's dead now.
Yeah.
But that's the chronology of these 3 films.
Wow.
But I do kind of like this, like, when you actually watch them, they're kind of just all back to back.
Yeah. Well, I guess, like, because
I only had a little break now.
Yeah. I so does Jason, to be fair. Like, I actually really like that for this, although it does mean that now we're so far away from Friday the 13th.
As a concept?
Yeah.
As a routing mechanism?
Yeah.
Because at least the Halloween films take place on Halloween.
Things though, it's a really strange thing.
It's now always just synonymous with Jason as a thing.
Yeah.
Like they've not really,
Because I was watching, especially this one, right? The beginning bit, I feel like I can see money on screen for those ambulances and all the helicopter
crane
and stuff
shot.
like that. Are you just saddling yourself with a problem that doesn't need to exist? Because you just go, well, that happened before. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it doesn't. We don't need to.
They obviously want it to.
Yeah.
Well, they obviously want it to feel like it's joined on.
Well, this is the really strange thing.
This film, more than any of the other ones, tries some sense of continuity in other aspects as well.
Well, this is the thing that I find really strange is because, so we have, I think out of all 3 that have tried to do it, the 4th one is the best that does this recap on what's happened before, but it uses the guy from number 2, Paul. That's it. Yeah. So it uses the one from number 2 of the campfire story, and the weird thing about that is that's fake.
This is the thing. We talked about this in the second. It's like he's doing that to set up a jump scare for the counselor training people.
Yeah.
Now, some of that might be rooted in local legend.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
But again, he doesn't think it's real.
No.
Because when they're in the bar later that night, he's like, he's a legend.
Yeah.
Not like he's a legend. But he's almost like he doesn't take it too seriously. But some legends, some myths are rooted in fact.
Absolutely, yeah.
So some of those details might have come out in the town.
Which I
you are presented in this film like it's gospel, like you're saying.
And that's the thing, because then at the beginning of this one, the Christie fake out thing is now presented as Jason.
Yeah, I thought that when I was watching him because it works well as an edit, and I'm on. But it's just like that's not Jason.
To be fair, what you could do is take that one step further and go, that's the nature of legends. That's the nature of stories like that. They get turned and stuff like that. You can go, oh yeah, and like he even knew some of the people, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. But you're like, no, that's actually not what happens in number 1. But I'm inclined to go, oh no, that's the nature of urban legends. That's the nature of.
Why's his face changed?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
2 and 3.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's an interesting one about how he connects, I think.
Yeah, and also, the fact that we see Pam's grave.
Yeah.
The fact that we've got a mother character in this film.
Yeah.
The fact that we've got Rob. tying back to Sandra in part 2. This fact that we'll talk probably more about Rob later on, but now like in terms of continuity, the fact that we've got a character that is coming to Crystal Lake to hunt down Jason, but his sister only died like 4 days ago. But that's like production error, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, so the writer and the director didn't realize that it was referring to a character in part 2 that was meant in film sense was only a few days ago. So that's why some of his reads, and it's presented almost like he's been tracking him for years.
No, it does,
And apparently the director didn't really realize it was referring to Sandra in part 2.
No, because I just thought he was really fucking on it. Because that's why he's got all those papers. And I was like, where are they from? Because we even said when we were watching it,
like 4 days. Because I think basically just rolling production, the director not really familiar with previous films too well, thought it was just an original character, or it wasn't Sandra who gets speared in part 2 in after shagging. And the thing is, if you were doing it properly, just make him a sibling of someone from part 1.
Yeah,
that's 5 years ago. And make it like when it happened, he was too young, and he spent 5 years learning about Jason.
Maybe they thought that's what they were doing.
Yeah, because I was thinking in another film, you can make him your exposition person.
Yeah,
because he spent 5 years tracking and trying to understand what Jason is.
Yeah, rather than
that would be
really good.
Yeah, he's like, I know.
Yeah.
Because you do get that a little bit, because he shows obviously the artist sketch of Jason, which Tommy uses for inspiration later on.
Yeah,
but it would work so much better if he's almost like your Van Helsing character.
Oh yeah,
but they fumble the ball a bit,
and I guess you get a really good that's the thing. You get a Van Helsing, you get like a really good fight.
Yeah,
you should do, but
and it's hard with like all monster stuff, like Loomis. You need that character who can come in and just give you the info dump.
Yeah,
but like at least there's a reason for him to have that information.
That's the thing. He's too mysterious for that character, I think.
Yeah,
because he doesn't give off enough information. He's got some good.
It's quite sweet when he gives her a little kiss goodnight on the cheek.
Oh, but when he's in the car with her as well, and he's like looking around at different things, you're like, oh, there's something going on with this guy.
Because it's weird thing, because they meet him and they do the fake out where you see Jason's boots, and then it's him that turns up.
Yeah.
And then he's got like, he feels like he's like Ray Mears. He's got all his survival kit and he's got a big gun.
Yeah.
And a machete.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's like, don't take a machete with you. What are you doing?
Has he not been researching? He loves machete.
So I mean, like, do you know what? Out of all of them, though, as much as I like, this is the problem. I think all that information that you've just given me there, like, while you're like, oh yeah, this is how it's connected, blah 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 blah. I'm ready for this to stop now. I'm ready for something new.
I think,
do you know what I mean?
I think it's
like,
getting a bit like, it's this point where it's a bit torturous to keep going on.
It is, yeah.
And I think when they comes back, they rejig it more and they add more elements in.
Yeah.
This has kind of run its course.
It definitely has.
But I do think, even though it's like similar budget to part 3, it looks the best so far, by far.
Yeah.
The lighting.
Yeah.
You know, there's more atmosphere, there's more light, there's lightning, there's rain, there's a load of fog.
Yeah.
The forest is a good forest.
It's a really good forest.
Like, it definitely feels the best. Whereas 3, we said last week, even though this is shot in California as well, part 3 feels really Californian. It feels like arid.
Yeah.
Whereas this feels like really good dark forest.
Yeah, I think
not a forest expert.
I wonder as well as like how much of that was to do with the 3D, because I know with 3D you have to have a lot of light, so it was like, and that is really the enemy of like horror atmosphere, really. So it'd be like, whereas this, they're like, no, we can do whatever we want because we're not filming in 3D.
I'm not doing that. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, that's the thing. While I like, there's lots of stuff in it that I did like. I think this is probably my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Least laugh.
I found it more of a slog, and I think only because I think they put all the characters in one place too much, and I felt like I was in that living room for 50% of the film.
You wanted to kill them.
I was doing my head in. Yeah.
Well, do you know that's a custom built house?
Is it?
So, you know, like they built the house in part 3.
Yeah.
So I think they found the Jarvis house here. They're like, this is a perfect house. We love this house. Looks great. We need a house opposite it.
Right.
So they built that, and because of budget cuts, the house got smaller and smaller.
Yeah, I bet.
And they were like, oh, it's a great exterior, but the interior was like, it was shit to film in. And I think that's the thing. Part 2, that living room feels tiny.
Yeah.
Like they're on top of each other. Like the blocking, they're all like, you've got 6-7 people in a shot.
Yeah. Definitely in the living room where they're all sitting around and stuff like that. It was like, and you've basically only got one shot, and when it's like that wide one, and then close-ups, like that camera doesn't move because it probably can't.
A lot of characters in this one.
Oh my god, yeah, that's
a lot more people to get through.
Yeah. So I mean, like, and is this on Friday 13th? As we've just said, it's on Wednesday,
the 18th.
The 18th,
which is unlucky for other people.
Yeah. To talk about Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's strange because he's got to look, or he should look exactly like
he's like
what's just come before.
Yeah, because we were watching it together and we were like, look at his fingernails.
Yeah.
Minging fingernails. And you like just said like, it's got to be a signifier that he's dead.
Yeah.
But rapidly decomposing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he does come back from the dead.
Yeah.
We said about this last week that he was borderline supernatural because they couldn't hang him. He's resistant to injury, incredibly strong in this one. But like, he comes back from the dead.
Yeah,
he's pronounced dead at a crime scene.
Exactly. Yeah, so we are saying he is dead.
Yeah,
in here,
I think the only thing that you're lacking, because he kills everyone who can make this pronouncement, is no one on screen clocks or recognizes that he's undead.
Yeah,
you like normally in a horror film or something like this, you would get someone in world going,
it's a
this
fucking
is
zombie. Yeah,
the laws of reality have been broken.
Yeah,
like he's a zombie. Like they don't say the word zombie.
No. Yeah.
But for you, the audience, you're like, well, he's got to be.
Yeah.
But it's not like it doesn't play supernatural like Freddy does.
No. That's
or
true.
Michael does. You're like,
yeah.
But it is.
I tell you what, in this, I do feel like they strip back how much of him that you see.
Yeah.
And I like that because I think
continue that trend of 3, like a bit more like stalking in the shadows.
Yeah.
Not a feet shot.
No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And because I know, I guess like they do that so they can do like the little fake out thing as well. But I do like seeing a lot less of him. But weirdly, you see a lot of his fingernails.
Yeah, because you a lot of fingernails and a lot of boots.
Yeah.
He's got very sensible, like, got a good like line in his trousers. Like a good like.
Yeah, for a dead man.
It's like older fellas, really important on ironing your trousers.
Yeah. So we got a new guy as well, Ted White, playing him.
Yeah. He's like old-timey stuntman.
Right.
He doubled for like John Wayne and Clark Gable.
Fantastic.
Like, I think he was pretty like old school Hollywood.
Yeah.
But he was quite old when he played it.
Thing is, I guess you don't have to do much, do you? Like he's probably used to like, that's the thing, like jumping out of saloon windows and stuff like that.
He's happy
so he's like happy just to like keep like, it's just a lot of slow.
I think he was still in. I
moves of
think he was
hand.
like in his 50. I think he was in clocking 60 when he did this.
Cool.
Because he only died. Well, I wrote this down somewhere. Like he only died last year. Yeah, he died last year or a couple of years ago at the age of 96 in 2002.
The interesting thing, I guess, like as it's interesting to see what the writers and directors take from the other ones as well. Like I said in the last episode, like I love his little almost like tableaus that Jason creates where he's like dragging bodies around to like scare them later. And in this one, he really goes off with it.
Well,
like,
that's something you observed with Michael Myers when we did the Halloween podcast. But with this one, I think he always goes a step further. He uses them as barricades.
Yeah.
He actually like traps Trish in the house using the body. I think it's Jimmy.
Yeah.
He uses them to close off a door.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
Like blocks her getting out.
Yeah.
It's like not only are these bodies to me, they're functional items.
It's I think the interesting thing as well is like, I know, so we have to go back to the sort of Jason lore dump at the beginning, and we get like and things that we learn about him as well. He says, and this is a line that I didn't clock before, whereas like he'll see revenge he'll seek if anyone enters his wilderness again. So we're like, okay, this is what the filmmakers want us to know as his motivation.
Yeah.
So that's good for us to know. It's like, if you enter his wilderness, that's what.
Yeah.
It's not the day. It's not his birthday.
Well, he talks about this in
it's
part
like,
2.
Yeah.
It's like, is that the thing?
You coming into his.
So it's not reopening the camp. It's just proximity to that area.
Yeah.
Like
that's his that's main
what triggers
motivation. Yeah. Just you knocking
his
about his
habitat.
house. To be fair, where I live, I have like a balcony that is not like technically private, because it goes the length of the building, and we're on the top floor.
Okay, but is it like sectioned?
What? No.
So there's not section. I would hate that. So somebody could walk outside your thing at night.
Yes. So
there should be little dividers.
There's not little dividers. So we have put in dividers, but they're like low ones, so you can like step over. But I put in dividers because of the dog, like, so it's fine. But what's very strange is it's technically a balcony for the building, but weird grey area. No one goes up there. I think people go up there on like I've never been there for New Year's Eve, and I've never been there for bonfire night. But I think people do kind of
it's a good observation deck.
Go up there for that, but. No one, like even delivery people, really shouldn't be going out there unless you go the wrong way.
Oh, so so there's a communal access point.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, right. So there's a communal access point because other people's front doors are on that balcony around the corner. It's very strange design. But this is what I mean. The other day, a delivery person came round. I've got both doors open. We're in very little. And it was a delivery person for me, I should add, so it's fine. But he like just knocked on the door, and it felt so intrusive that I put a machete through his neck. No, like if it did feel really weird. So I kind of understand where Jason's come from here. Like
intruded upon your wilderness.
If you're thinking, if anyone intrudes upon enters my wilderness,
he uses Amazon lockers.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. But I did feel a bit weird about it. So I understand, if he's knocking about the lake, and then
respect people's personal space.
Absolutely,
but he has claimed an entire lake.
Yeah.
And that's the motivation, is like his safe space is an entire lake area. And that's what's unclear here, because he gets taken to a morgue, pronounced dead.
Yeah.
And then like a salmon, he goes home. And again, how big is this lake now?
Yeah.
Because now we find out that the Jarvises just live near it.
Yeah.
And presumably have for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And this other house is a holiday home. I'm not really sure whose house that is.
Yeah.
And the kids are just going there for I'd say the weekend, but it's a Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true. Long weekend.
To hang out.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, well, there's people near the lake, got to kill them. But the Jarvis has been there for ages, mate.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
And is like, he's not done to Trish what he did to Chrissy.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Unless he's just gone home a different way and gone, what's this motherfucker now?
Well, the kids say Crystal Point.
Crystal Point, yes.
So it is in that general area. So it could be another lake.
Well, that's the thing. To be fair, he's never been that far away from Crystal Lake.
No.
So
he was in it for a long time.
Yeah. So if he's in the hospital and he's been forced to come home, he's probably walked down a different way, being like, "Oh, okay." He's never entered Crystal Lake that way, so he's coming down and gone, "Cool, I'm entering my nice, safe wilderness space. There's a big house there. I gotta kill them now." Like,
it's like imagine if he finds out it's not Crystal Lake.
Yeah,
mate, this is Crystal Point. Fine. Oh my God, sorry. Egg on my mask.
That's on me. That is. Thing is though, you will be like,
I'm mortified.
You've been killed. You're in the hospital. You're pronounced dead. You managed to get back out. You come back. You're like, all I want to do is get back to my lake and have a little sleep. And then you come back and there's all these people you got to
see mum.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, we see Pam's grave as well.
Who's done that?
Mate, did she have people in like the town?
To be fair, she did work for the Christies for years. I suppose
they did kill her son.
Yeah, I guess like
because presumably it's hard to know the continuity of where Pam is now anymore, like her body and her head, because obviously she shouldn't have to be buried there. It could just be a memorial. But that's the first time you find out she's called Pam.
Oh, like officially? Yeah.
It's not in the original. It's Mrs. Voorhees in the original.
Of course, yeah. Even if you were bad. Some people who are bad people, people still bury people, and
but you would think that would, or it would get defaced.
People have a strange attitude towards death and things like that, where they'd be like, "Oh no," like a strange like respect for the dead and stuff like that.
Thatcher.
That exactly, yeah. Like,
where's her grave?
Spit on it now.
I spit on Thatcher's grave. I've seen that film.
This is a question for you. You know when Trish knocks Jason's mask off?
Yeah.
Is he smiling?
Well, it's like a little backhand she does.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just his face.
Is that just his face? Because I was like, oh shit, we've got some character here. Because he's like,
he's like, I love it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
You miss me. Because it's a weird one. She like backhands him.
Yeah.
Flicks it off. But what's kind of cool is the design of Jason in this one. we'll talk about when we come to the kills, but Savini's back.
Yeah.
And I think they were already doing work on the mask before he joined, because the original FX guy got kicked off for personality differences.
Oh, shit.
The guy who got kicked off later
Being
on,
a twat.
do you want he went on to do later on?
No.
He's won like 4 or 5 Oscars.
Oh, really?
He went on to do Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, yeah.
And Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, that's good.
But Savini comes back.
Yeah.
And he's like, I take no credit for this because they're already working on it. The face of Jason, and if you put them side by side, it is really close. The Jason in Final Chapter it's very much modeled on his makeup for the kid in the lake from part 1.
Oh, very cool.
So it's like, take that makeup, age him up.
Age him up, yeah.
So it's the closest to that.
Oh, that's very cool. I like that. But yeah, when Trish knocks his mask off, I was like, is he smiling there? Because if he is, that suggests a level of like consciousness that we've maybe not attributed him before.
Well,
and he's
the
meant
thing,
to be dead.
he flits in and out of it because he's like he tracks down Alice,
that's
calls
true,
her. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
So sometimes he feels like there's something more going on there.
Or
is he just like like an animal can hunt?
I think the Jason in 3 and 4 feels different to that now. I think like they've gone, oh no, this is what it is. He's not calling people. No. He's not hiding in beds and stuff like that. Like he's very much just stalking about.
But I don't know how he would know this. He would know that you need a corkscrew to have wine.
Yeah,
so when Jimmy goes in to he's like, I'm going to go get my wine.
Yeah.
He's like taking the corkscrew and gets him with the corkscrew.
Could be a happy accident, to be fair. Yeah. Like
just like sharp things.
Yeah. Do you think he's supernatural in this? Like, I guess we kind of have to say that he is because he's dead.
He's definitely supernatural for this film.
Yeah.
But I feel like when he dies, you're meant to think he's dead.
Yeah.
So he's not, but then I don't know how you square. I think it's one of those things like you won't, like almost like you have to kill him in a more extraordinary way for him to die. Like you could do things to a vampire that would kill them or stop them for a period of time.
Yeah.
But like to actually kill them, you have to do it in a specific way.
Yeah.
So at the end of this, when he gets the machete right through the head and like he gets basically minced.
Yeah.
You're like, that's dead.
I feel like that's the thing. We have to ascribe like zombie rules to him.
Yeah.
And be like,
kill the brain.
Yeah, kill the brain. Like take his head off, because like if you take a head off a zombie, they can still. The
head would still live. I think you got to destroy the brain. Or like Michael Myers, you got to put him in a mincer.
Yeah.
He's just got to not exist, almost like he's not T-1000.
No, no, that's true. Yeah,
I don't know what the rules are.
No, I don't. And it's good to see him die again. And you're like, I'm actually really now excited to see what happens in part 5 to bring him back. Like,
what is that?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I can't remember number 5. We're getting very close to number 6, which is the first Friday the 13th episode. So I'm excited for that. Yeah.
I genuinely don't know which was mine.
Yeah. Should we talk about the victims?
Yes.
Give me some kill stats.
Unsurprisingly, the biggest kill count yet. That's a whopping 14. And yes, Savini's back. So we've got corkscrews, lashings of blood, and a spear in the cock.
Does it ever go down, the number? It better not.
Find out.
It can't.
I can show you graphs.
Yeah. It can't go down ever, surely.
Well, I think
must have been a rule for filmmaking.
Or a plateau.
Yeah.
Because this thing, you can't, that's the thing, it's escalation, isn't it? Inflation.
To be fair, I would love to know like how much a kill costs on average. Like I bet they know. I bet there's a way of working out.
Yeah, the Jason one's got to be the most expensive one in this. It's a full-on animatronic.
Absolutely, yeah.
But loads of kids to get through in this.
Yeah,
much bigger cast, more going on within the characters as well.
Yeah,
more interpersonal stuff, more relationship stuff.
It's also like I found it very weird being in the hospital as well, because it was like, is this the first? Because I know we've been in the shop, we've been in shops,
I've been in a bars. But again, you think about this takes place over a couple of days.
Yeah.
What we said in the last couple of films, it's like very short time scale. You get there, and it kind of just goes. It's like it feels like here's another scene.
Oh, that's the thing. It's like for the first time, I feel like even the bars and the cafes and the shops that we've been in, they've all felt like camp adjacent. Like they're all wooden places. They feel like they're not far from the lake,
or full of lots of people.
Yeah.
That hospital is, you feel like that's in a city.
Oh, it was weird being in there. Like it felt really
different, doesn't it?
But then it's very cool because like we were talking like the last one of adding like the biker gang in. You're adding a different element of person to kill. It's not just kids. It's like grown up.
Weirdly though, even though they're grown ups, still as horny as anyone.
Oh my God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Also,
So
I love the
weird.
nurse's like attitude going, "Oh, it's disgusting. It's dead people." It's the morgue, love.
Yeah.
You went to shag in the morgue. What do you think?
A lot of weird in this movie as well. It's like a lot of like just horning after TV stuff, like either watching like an exercise video.
That's very 80s, isn't it?
Oh my God. Or like the projector of the old movies and stuff
what
like
are
that.
those 19th century blueies?
Yeah, it's really strange because I saw a tweet yesterday that was just like, it was from like a historical just like account that was like, oh, this is how you would watch movies in like 1930, and there was tits in it. And it was just from like a museum's thing. They were like,
we never change.
We never change.
We never change.
Everyone
Do you think
loves
anyone
tits.
had a wank looking at a zoetrope?
Yeah, no, absolutely, 1,000,000%. Yeah,
Like cranking it with both hands?
yeah, you would though.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, have you seen this?
this is class.
He's like, you look at it, it's like, mate, that's a horse running.
The coroner Axel,
Yeah.
what gotta be one of my least favorite characters in all of the series. I think
He's horrible. He's disgusting.
good death to that as well.
Yeah, like a surgical hacksaw.
Yeah, and then just twists it off.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He deserves that. He's just,
did deserve
he's
it.
just gross, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I hated him.
What's she seeing in him?
I know. Another thing, it was like talking about characters. Like, do twins still wear the same clothes when they get that age?
Yeah, that's a good point.
No way.
I think they're British.
Are they?
Yeah, I think so.
Like, surely that's a thing that you cannot wait to stop.
Yeah, that they're presumably they're not dressing themselves. The mum and dad aren't dressing them.
Presumably, yeah.
Maybe they like it.
Yeah. Maybe, to be fair, I don't know. But I know a grown-up set of twins, and I know a kid set of twins right now, and the grown-up set of twins don't dress the same. Whereas the little kids dress the same because the parents are like,
It's easier.
we're not making two sets of decisions for these kids.
Yeah, because also when you buy something, you just go, two of
Just
them.
buy two of them, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more necessity, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're committing your life to the greatest trick ever performed.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Because then you do have to wear the same
Then
clothes.
you do have to wear
Because
the same
otherwise
clothes.
it really ruins the trick.
Well, it's like that story that I told you once about going to a New Year's Eve party, a Back to the Future themed New Year's Eve party with a friend of mine who was like, oh, do you mind if I bring my two buddies? They're twins. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be fucking amazing. One of them went as young Biff. Do you know what the other one went as? Einstein, who's not even in the film. The dog is called Einstein. He went as Albert Einstein.
But he thought it was still Back to the Future themed. Oh,
I
no,
fucking no idea, mate. Like, I was just like, I was looking at them all night, and the more drunk I got, the more annoyed I was getting about it. One of them went as young Biff, and the other one did not go as old Biff. And they were identical twins going to a Back to the Future party. I was literally just like, you fuck this. You have fucked this, boys. What's wrong with
like,
you?
if you had a twin and you were mates and stuff, and you were going to parties and that,
Fuck me.
every year you could come up with something.
Mate. You could go as different things from Back to the Future.
Young and old George McFly.
Fucking did my nut in. Like, honestly.
You go as Michael J. Fox and you go as Irish grandfather.
Seamus. Yeah. Sometimes when I can't sleep, I think about that. Like, it genuinely haunts me. One of them went as young Biff.
You're right, though.
And the other one went as Einstein.
You go as the two different versions of Gwyneth Paltrow from Sliding Doors.
You could go as anything. Like, they were the same height. They were the exact same height.
Identical twins.
Because I went through this a lot.
My dad was an identical twin. I don't think they ever dressed up.
They ever dressed up as...
I don't think there was a lot of Halloween parties in Blackburn in the 1970s.
Yeah, just like, Dad, you could go as young Biff. I don't know who that is. So
What?
Speaking of George McFly, though, I did not know that Crispin Glover was in this movie.
What a seamless link that was.
Yeah, but like, when he came out, we were both watching it here, and we were like, "Oh, it must be like a little background character or something like that."
It's quite amazing.
Because I guess the one that people talk about from this is Corey Feldman.
You know when we're saying this film feels bigger,
Yeah,
and obviously it's shot better than the other ones, but it really benefits from having Feldman and Glover in it.
Yeah,
because
no, that's true.
This is them both on the cusp of fame.
Yeah.
So this year Feldman has this come out and Gremlins.
Oh, okay,
in the same
cool.
year, and then this is 84. Is Back to the Future 85?
Yeah,
So
it
he's
is,
just
yeah.
about to like So you benefit. This film retrospectively feels like I just got 2 stars.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
When at the time it wouldn't.
Yeah, because Feldman is still, when you look
Really
at this,
little.
you're like, oh, he's still like sweet Feldman in this. He's not like child star gone, you know.
Yeah, so it's this and
Gone
Gremlins
wild.
in '84.
Wow.
And because he's just like, I got this, and I was like, this.
Yeah, because I guess like those are big, and then Goonies is probably like the one that
and then Lost Boys. When he's a bit older.
He's a bit older then. Yeah,
later.
yeah, because that was really interesting. Also, how handsome is Crispin Glover?
He's really handsome.
Oh my god!
I think even back then he was quite eccentric. You can see that when he's pulling out his dance moves.
Yeah,
like I think the cast were like, he was an interesting bloke on set.
Okay, yeah, that's good. So beautiful though.
Like, it's quite funny because they make him the real loser character.
Yeah, which is kind of strange because
we still
that's not who he is.
We don't have quite a prankster.
Beautiful.
Like, he's like the loser character-ish. Yeah. Teddy's a little bit like, he's just constantly laughing.
Yeah.
The teddy bear thing.
Oh, it's fucking
I don't know how you're meant to regard him really.
No.
He seems a bit of a knob.
Yeah.
So I guess he's the knobhead archetype.
Yeah, I suppose. And then
you barely hear anything from the boyfriend.
No.
I don't remember him saying a line.
Yeah. It's weird.
Because he tries to get off on the This is the thing. It feels like Biker Grove for a little bit, where they're all just trying to like get off with each other in a small room.
I think that's the good thing about introducing the hospital or introducing the family and stuff like that, is like I can actually differentiate between these people, because some of them, if you're not putting a strong character on them, you instantly are like, oh yeah, that guy.
I think that's when we think about parts 1 to 3. It's very easy to get a lot of those characters reconfigured. Whereas at least this one, even though it is a very thirsty little room they're in for a long time.
Yeah, true.
They do make an effort just to give them a little bit more texture.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're massive, like, amazing characters.
No.
But like, you know, Jimmy and Teddy, you can tell they're mates the way that they chat to each other.
Yeah, no, that is true actually, yeah.
There's an attempt to just give them a thing, like when they're doing like the computer says no thing.
Yeah.
But like, they're trying to make out these are mates.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Whereas the previous dialogue I think was just functional.
I've never heard the phrase a dead fuck before.
Yeah.
To my face. But I feel like I hear it about 50 times in this.
Supposedly they ad-libbed all that.
Yeah, I mean, I can fucking see that. Like,
but yeah, because the intention is dead fuck is just you're bad at sex.
He's shit at shagging.
And like Teddy installs him with this complex.
Yeah.
But it actually turns out he's great at shagging.
He's actually amazing at shagging, yeah. What an arc.
And then dies.
Yeah.
So he finds out he's good at shagging, and then
imagine that. The day that I find out that I'm amazing at shagging is the day that I die.
You know what's like a little bit shit about that though? Because, you know, you kind of feel a bit sorry for Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because he's like, feels like he's lacking confidence. And then you see him come out of his shell, he's throwing his dance shapes.
Yeah.
Finds out he's amazing at shagging. And then he takes her knickers down and like gives
Oh.
them to Teddy.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was rooting for you.
That's disgusting.
And then you're like, she's like, she seems to really like you. She's
Yeah.
gone off to the bathroom. You're going down there to get some wine. Here you go, mate. He's like, you gross bastard.
Is she not going to be like, where's my knickers?
Yeah. Oh, Teddy's got them now.
Yeah, no.
I think that's the thing.
I'm glad he gets a cleaver to the face.
I'll tell you what, that's good.
That's a good kill.
Like,
yeah.
Savini's back. Like, when it goes in, it's lashings of blood.
Yeah.
It's like that bottle of red wine's been opened. It's just spooling out.
There's some good stuff in this. I like one as well. I don't even think they give the character a name, but that hitchhiker at the beginning.
That's just an extra. That's your extra kill, isn't it?
It's an extra kill, but it's also there's something quite like proper like a British TV show about it when she's like peeling the banana, like
a little bit carry on, isn't it?
There's like
on the buses.
Yeah, I think it's all sound effects because it's like there's no mic in that thing where she's like burp, and then like the banana getting crushed.
It does feel like that, doesn't it? Is that our first Canadian to die?
Maybe. I also don't like watching people fuck about with food. Like, it kind of goes through me. So and bananas especially, because bananas are fucking weird. Like, so that I didn't like that one at all. Yeah, I don't like people mucking around with food.
What do you mean mucking about?
Like, you know, like putting their hands in food and like squeezing it and shit like that. So you see like the banana in her mouth like dripping out.
Yeah,
this
is the thing. The banana and the blood almost like intermingle.
Yeah, it's pretty grim.
It's like a Metallica album cover.
Yeah, that's a good kill though. Like, and also again, like
it is like you're just your freebie one.
Out of that, yeah.
It's you know what? It lets you get what we're always saying. Axel and the nurse, the coroner and the nurse, and the hitchhiker lets you get 3 up top without impacting your main set of characters. Because that doesn't stop them getting there, because that happens over their shoulder.
Hitchhiker, we should keep an eye out for the hitchhiker character, because I bet that comes back loads, because it's just like, we don't have to give him we don't even bother giving him a name. Like,
you know what we don't have in this film, and it's been a fixture of previous one? I don't think we don't have like our Prophet of Doom.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because we had
Crazy Ralph in the first 2. And then I think he's called Abel in part 3.
He is, yeah, the guy with the
eyeball
the
that we didn't talk about last week. But like, that's like, it's the same as the bloke you pick up in Texas Chainsaw. Yeah, it's that person going, don't. It's like the end of days character. None of that here.
No, that's true. Yeah, because I guess.
So obviously, you just don't think it's a feature.
Yeah, and or as well, like I guess it's worse for the characters as well, because they're not on edge.
Yeah,
they're not on edge at all. They get a lovely time. Take all their clothes off, jump straight in.
That's the thing. They have one night there. That's perfectly safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like that family is just living there. Like the Jarvises are just living. That's where they live.
I love that mum's like, oh, you're joking me. Yeah, you would though. I think that house is full of people.
Mate,
it's not Airbnb back then, but what is it?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You get, I guess, you would get it through friends and stuff like that. But like at the old building I used to live in, it was a hotbed for Airbnbs, and we would just get like I mean, I can sleep through quite a lot of stuff, but we would wake up the next day and it'd be like 500 messages in the building group being like, "Oh yeah, it's an Airbnb party, guys. Like, watch out, blah 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 blah." So it does happen, yeah.
Crazy Ralph in the
Crazy Ralph, yeah, it's me. I'm Crazy Ralph out the window. Yeah, there's some good kills in this. I think because it made me feel sick. I think the hitchhiker was one of my favorites, but I think Jimmy's cleaver to the face, or like, did they even have a plan for this kill? Doug in the shower. Just getting his face smushed into the tiles.
And then when she comes back, he's like over the glass as well.
Yeah.
I think I like Paul getting stabbed in the cock on the pier.
Very good.
I like Samantha on the boat. That actress actually got hypothermia filming that scene.
Yeah, I guess there's not different rules back then. They were just like,
I think they were like really pushing them because they were filming this in like October. It is eligible for best kill. Jason's.
Yeah, Jason's kill, yeah.
Because apparently, because these are very bloody kills. Apparently they kept like trimming down the other kills so they could linger more on Jason's,
right?
Because they really wanted to go, he's definitely dead. Because
he's definitely dead. Yeah,
they hit him in the face.
Yeah,
but then that great shot where he slides down the machete.
Oh my god!
And then you see the twitch of the fingers.
Yeah,
and Tommy just goes
at him. Yeah,
ape on him.
Yeah, I think that is really good because genuinely we've not talked about it before. I actually have a worse kill because that one that I was generally like, well, that's disappointing. Is Rob's. Like him just shouting, he's killing me, because we don't have any money for you to actually see him kill me.
And it's so dark, that scene. I
think he beats him to death with a wrench or something.
The question though is, what actually would you say if someone was killing you?
That's true.
I don't know.
I think I'd make less of a fuss.
I'd be embarrassed.
Yeah. I'd be too embarrassed to say he's killing me.
I'm the bloke that turned up to kill Jason.
Yeah. Because, mate, if they're not helping you just seeing Jason, they're not going to help when they go, oh, he's killing you. Oh, yeah, we'll help now. Like, they know he's fucking killing you, bro. Like, I feel like he makes I know he's got a plan to, like, sort of avenge his sister, but I feel like he makes very little impact on that plan.
Thing is, only planned it for 3 days.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's when it's not a good plan.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, so
I've got this picture of Jason.
Yeah, so are we saying he's actually been planning it for years and they fucked it up?
I think
I
think there's a discrepancy between the writer and like, I think it's fallen through the cracks a little bit there.
Yeah.
I think they tried to tie it into a character in part 2, not realizing that part 2 was like only a few days ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to be fair, we had to work it out, but then we're not working on
the film. We're doing a podcast about it. But is there anything about these characters though? Like, I'm just thinking of what they do and what they don't do.
Yeah, because I do genuinely like that idea of Rob. Like, but you're right. It's almost like used really crappily, because he could be the person who turns at the beginning and is just like, oh yeah, by the way, this is what happened. He could have been fake out like Harbinger of Doom type thing at the beginning, going, don't go down to Crystal Point because Jason might be about and he's still alive.
There's a lot of weird little details that it would be brilliant if he just presents as like just a hitchhiker they meet, like an outdoorsy book.
Yeah.
And then it reveals it in the third act.
Yeah.
And he really helps Trish and Tommy survive. That would be a really cool thing. And it's a slightly different dynamic than what we've had previously.
Yeah.
You know what's another weird little detail? Obviously, the director called Joseph Zito, that he gives a direction to the mum. Do you know about this? When the kids turn up at the lake, the party kids, Tracy is instructed to look out the window and look menacingly. Almost, he wanted to imply to the audience, there's another mum. But that doesn't work because we're seeing Jason come back.
Yeah, no,
do you know what I mean?
True, yeah.
If you almost obscured Jason coming back from the dead for a bit, you might be like, is there another murderous mum?
Yeah.
Or is this even more fancifully like related to Pam? Because she's got a similar lookish a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's just a weird thing because it doesn't really mean anything.
No, not really.
I guess she doesn't want her daughter getting mixed up in drinking.
Yeah. Is it anything we can learn from the victims? I've got maybe. I'm
honestly with this one, I'm scraping the barrel. I've got a few. You know what I do feel vindicated by?
Yeah.
They all go skinny dipping.
Yes, correct.
And you tell you what, the characters that don't go skinny dipping.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Yeah.
And Trish.
Yeah, they're actually.
And they live.
She's like afraid of skinny dipping. Yeah.
And they live.
That's pretty good.
So I feel vindicated that we've already got one of them as our rule.
Yeah.
So yeah, what have you got? So this is what not to do.
Definitely. I mean, this is definitely. You shouldn't be doing this in 2024. You shouldn't. I feel like this is quite a misogynistic thing to do. Do not steal girls' pants and give them to your mate.
Yep, I'm writing this down. Still, not for myself.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't watch 19th century porn.
Yeah.
I'm writing.
Be on my list. One, right, that I genuinely think, and I think we could even, there's probably you could probably go back to previous movies and go, oh yeah, that's obviously, don't leave the shower unlocked.
Yeah,
because
I always lock the bathroom.
This is what I was thinking as well.
That's a good one.
We're going to be staying in an actual campsite. It's quite old, I think. I don't think I mean, American toilets are bad enough at the best of times. I don't think because I stayed in a campsite that I think is going to be close to it when I was in Hawaii, and those bathrooms and those showers were absolutely bogging. So I'm thinking that's what we're going to have to deal with.
That's a really good one.
But yeah, just don't leave the shower unlocked.
This is a hard one. I don't imagine this will make final selection. It'll be a hard one for both of us. Don't drink Coors.
Oh, I love Coors though.
Okay, we'll get rid of that.
I fucking
There's a lot
Coors.
of it is consumed in this film. There's a lot of it, like little gold cans.
Oh man, Coors is great. I won't hear a bad word against Coors.
The thing is, with loads of people, we like other types of beers.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Time and place for things.
But there's a time and place for the silver bullet.
Sometimes
Coors.
I like watching Transformers.
Coors, genuinely, it's like an ice cold fizzy cup of nothing.
It's okay, I'm deleting it, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's get this sponsored by Coors.
The three we've got so far. Don't steal girls' pants, knickers. Yeah. I'll extend that. Just don't steal anyone else's pants.
Yeah.
Or underwear.
Yeah.
Don't watch 19th century porn. Don't leave the shower unlocked or the bathroom unlocked when you're using it.
Yeah, I think functionally, because we are going to have to stay in the
first one should be implicit.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. I don't think we're going to have too much 19th century porn activity.
I was going to bring my Zoe try.
so I think
like a Zoe
as an actually functional one. Do not leave the shower unlocked.
What not to do? So leave the bathroom open. Bathroom door unlocked.
Yeah. Don't do that.
So to recap, we've got no strip Monopoly or a strip variant of any game or pastime.
Yeah, fine.
No skinny dipping.
Absolutely.
That would have helped us here.
I would have, yeah.
Don't be rude to shopkeepers.
Correct.
Leave the bathroom door unlocked.
Yeah, good.
Those are our 4 things of what not to do.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
Good.
I feel this is a good list.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we talk about who survives. This is good. And we've got something kind of new, like a new dynamic here as well.
2 survivors.
Trisha and Tommy.
Siblings.
Yeah.
Again, just to reiterate, both don't go skinny dipping.
Neither of them go skinny dipping. Although Tommy fucking loves a set of tits. Like...
I think Corey Feldman did. Because apparently he was really excited he got to see boobs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, he's not seeing boobs though, is he?
I think I mean, he's there on the day they go skinny dipping. I think he saw some stuff then.
Yeah. Yeah,
he's having a lovely old time.
I don't know if he... yeah, that's the thing. Because if you were... presumably, his parents are about. Are they not? Are they not like, right, he can't see tits, guys.
There's a lot of boobs in this.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
There's more than previous ones. I've not counted the stats on that.
No. It's the only thing is strange with this is I do feel like I know Trish the least out of all of our things. I feel like I don't really...
I wonder if that's like the fact that she's not part of the core group.
Yeah. She's got no one saying things about her. Yeah.
The only people that you see her really like aside from like a lot of her screen time is shown with Rob. That's the only time you get to know her. Because the other time she's been big sister or daughter.
Yeah.
And you don't get to really know someone's full character when they're in those roles.
No, that's true.
Because you're deferring to your mom.
Yeah.
You're being like, Tommy, come away from there.
Yeah.
It's like, well, who are you?
No, that's true.
So you get a little bit... She seems quite a sweet girl.
Yeah.
And like she's quite awkward with Rob. She obviously likes him. There's something quite nice. She's obviously intrigued about the kids partying, but doesn't want to maybe join in.
I thought maybe... Yeah, I think that's definitely true. And I think as a function of having two main survivors, plus Rob as well, like having this other little group, maybe you learn a little bit less about them, I think. Because like Tommy... I feel like they really flesh him out from the start. Like he's amazing at making these masks.
He's got like so many like details to his character.
Yeah.
It's kind of what's the name of the kid out of Salem's Lot? Same sort of thing where he's like a monster kid.
Yeah.
Like super into like monster models and like or like the Monster Squad where you're like, I'm obsessed with monsters.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense that maybe he's still gonna be scared of Jason, but he's like, I understand what this is.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Because do you know what? I generally thought right at the beginning, and maybe this is like a little thing, the alien head that he's wearing at the beginning, that does look a bit like Jason.
Well, he's like big bald dome.
Like sort of bulbousy and weird like that. So I thought, that's what they're gonna play with. But what he actually creates to fool Jason on himself is probably the worst thing that he's made. Because
the thing is, it's weird because it does look like he's got a bald cap on, but he's meant to have shaved his head off
quickly. It looks,
but like
crap.
It looks more like the alien thing at the beginning.
Yeah,
because they not just shaved him. I know he's a kid, but like you just go, we'll grow back. You're a kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Can we not just?
Unless they were just like
another question. Can we shave your kid?
But the thing is also, I feel like a kid.
It would take ages to do that.
A kid who can make like a proper working gargoyle thing. Does he not have a ball cap knocking about?
Yeah, because he's like because they have all of the arts and crafts like model stuff.
Yeah.
He's a really dab hand with fixing the car.
Yes.
Like his sister's like, Tommy will be able to fix this.
Yeah.
So I just need a screwdriver. And he diagnoses what's wrong.
Yeah.
And Rob does it with his like pocket knife.
Yeah.
So you're meant to think he's like, he has something about him that he can make something quickly.
Yeah.
But he cuts his hair, and he's like shaving with a Bic razor really quickly.
But also that's the thing is like,
it'd be so funny if he was coming out with loads of cuts.
Yeah. That's what he should have.
Yeah, because it'd be really hard to do that.
Because I think like being good with cars, being good with tech, being good with making monster things, that's a different skill to shaving your head.
Oh, massively. Because I think it's like,
that's
it's like makeup adjacent. Yeah. Like he's into like filmmaking. Like, is he like Little Savini?
But that's the thing is like, out of all the good makeup and all the good kills we've got throughout this movie, the shaved head thing looks the worst.
Yeah, it
looks crap.
Because like you say, it plays almost like something he's put on.
Yeah.
We've just seen him shaving his head.
It took it
Because he's bald, and then there's like little bits of hair like dotted on.
It takes him ages to do that.
I think there's an earlier version of the script where all his like electronic mastery pays off in a different way, where like he melts Jason with like a thing he makes.
Cool.
Which does sound really good. And it's a little
really
bit Kevin McAllister-y.
Yeah, no, that's
like
true.
A weirdly resourceful kid.
I just find it really strange that the mask at the beginning looks more like Jason than what he ends up looking like.
Yeah, because that's an alien.
Yeah. The thing that's wrong with Jason isn't that he's bald.
Well, we need to... Let's actually just unpack what he's actually doing with that. So Trish is being attacked. He's like, well, we need to tackle him in a different way. Obviously, I'm a tiny little kid. I can't take him on physically. So in a similar move to, I was liking this to Ginny.
Yeah.
So Ginny in part 2 is the only character that has spent any time trying to understand the psychology of Jason.
Yeah.
Rob just comes to kill him. Ginny tries to understand or empathize with Jason, and his mindset is like the mind of a child.
Yeah.
His mum was killed, all this sort of stuff. Tommy kind of does that rapidly from reading these articles that Rob has brought with him. He sees the picture of Jason, and he thinks the best way to fool him or like to calm him down with something is to become him.
Yeah.
Almost like, would Jason be confused that this is a younger self talking to him? I tell you what, it's a hell of a leap.
It wouldn't enter my thing. Like, it wouldn't be on my list in my arsenal.
Also, I'm 38. I'm not shaving this off.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I'd be like, I just don't think that I would be, I just wouldn't get to that conclusion. I'd be like, find a bat.
It's a bit of a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Like, your sister's getting attacked.
And it takes ages.
But so he comes down and he's like, looks like little Uncle Fester.
Yeah, he does.
And he's just like, you know what? You've got to come down with some confidence in that moment that's going to work.
The thing is, though, is it just like you just confused him?
I think it's just like, what?
But then the weird thing is then as well, like, is the implication, like, you know, when Jason's fingers start twitching and Tommy starts like hacking him up, like, it looks like Trish is really scared of Tommy in that moment because she's like, oh my God.
I think it's a turn, yeah.
And then you hear that, like, the sort of freeze frame on his face as well. So is the idea that he's almost like being taken over by the evil that's in Jason?
Yeah, I mean, like, the ending when they're in the hospital and he goes in for the hug.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. It really reminds me of the end of Omen.
Yeah.
Tommy in that moment, like Damien in the Omen, breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
He looks at you. So he's almost like playing to the audience, like the evil lives on.
Yeah.
And like the end of Omen, like the devil's looking at you. And you're like, whoa, fucking hell.
Yeah.
But because this is the final chapter, I guess it's leaving the door open that they, in another world, they would have done Tommy films.
Tommy is
And
Jason,
I think there's also some people where it's like, you know what else it's really like that comes a few years later? Halloween 4. When Jamie Lloyd, at the end of that film, kills her foster mum, Michael. It's the idea that this evil is leaping onto someone else.
That's what I kind of thought, is that the implication here, that they just go, because they knew it was the final chapter, they're like, oh, this is quite a fun little ending for that. Yeah. It's a strange one.
I mean, it works for him. Yeah. That's the thing. It definitely, even if it just gives them a moment, like a window.
Yeah.
And like, is it the bit where the knife like slides down? I know I said it a few times. Because also previously, like, Trish has also slashed his hat, and that's a good animatronic as well. Yeah. And even though we don't know Trish much, she puts a hell of a fight.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
The bit where you think she's like, she like Neo in the Matrix. She just knows he's there. Yeah. And she like fakes him out and goes for him. That's because really you think she doesn't know he's there, and then she's like,
that's really good. I also think what she's really good at, just jumping from heights through windows. Like, she seems quite strong.
Acrobatic.
Yeah. You've got her sort of sixth sense smarts and being able to jump. And then you've got his brother's really good at shaving his head, apparently.
We need to like come up with a rule there.
Yeah. What can we learn from them?
So I think
I struggle with this one.
We didn't say, we never actually said this for Ginny.
Yeah.
But ended Ginny, she did like an impression of, we should have said this for part 2, but like Ginny saying, doing an impression of Pam.
Yeah.
Do we like try and, we can maybe squeeze it in with this one. Do we work on our Pam and Jason impressions?
Or at least what we can do.
Bring a ball cap.
Rather than impression.
Could bring a ball cap.
It's more like clothes. Because I think because a lot of the one that Ginny gets through is just that jumper. Like, and a lot of the stuff that he gets through is weird, little ball cap thing. Yeah.
Well, so if I bring a jumper, you bring a ball cap.
Done. Sorted.
To be fair, I actually have sent my mum a picture of the Pam Voorhees jumper.
Oh, you think she could do it? Yeah.
She says it might be. She said if you can get her a pattern.
You must be able to find a pattern for that.
Yeah, I have been looking on Reddit.
Right. So what
are we saying?
I think
what to do
as best you can. Mimic the killer.
Oh, so Jason or Pam? Both. Yeah, so like
just in case, yeah.
What's the rule? Right, so previously was it become the killer? No, don't become the killer. Because that's what Tommy does.
Mimic. Well, it's like
impression. Work on your killer impression.
Bounding, like those Disney kids that they're not allowed. Disney kids are not allowed to dress up as like Donald Duck. So you bound as Donald Duck. So
get
which
into
means
bounding.
Like, get into Jason. Friday the 13th bounding. That's cool.
Friday the 13th bounding.
Yeah.
But as killers or anyone.
I think killers, because that's what we're learning from the survivors, aren't we? Like,
So I am going to see you in dungarees.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah.
Get Gav.
I had to buy them.
Get Gav dungarees for New Jersey. Cool. So as a recap, we've got learn how to tie knots.
Yeah.
Are you getting on?
Yeah.
Which knot are you tying?
Reef knot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spend most of the night at a bar or pub nearby. Easy.
Practicing it. With cause.
3, make an impact.
Yes.
And now,
yeah,
work on your Friday 13th kilo bounding.
I like that one.
God, what are we going to have by the time we get to 12?
I like that one a lot. Anything else you got to say on the final chapter?
Just one more thing.
Yeah.
They filmed an alternate ending.
Did they?
That was like more in line with what we've got previously.
Oh, well, like a surprise.
Yes, you can find it on YouTube, but they've lost the sound for it.
Oh.
So what it is, it's kind of a similar like dream logic-y thing.
Yeah.
The morning, because you never find Trisha's mum, Tracy, in the film. She like dies off screen.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think her and Tommy are in the house, and there's water running from upstairs.
Yeah.
Trish goes up to investigate. She finds her mum's body in the bath, a little bit like The Shining.
Yeah.
She's like, Mom. She picks her up. She's cradling her in her arms. You get this overhead shot over her shoulder. You see her mum's eyes open up, and they're just all white.
Oh my God.
Like, it's quite scary, actually. She looks like cadaverous.
Yeah.
Her eyes are all white. Then there's the reverse shot of Trish's reaction.
Yeah.
And over her shoulder is Jason, who just goes like that and ends.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It is actually quite cool. But I think it's like, well, it's not the final chapter then.
Yeah, that's true.
It just, even though it's in keeping with previous films, like having this kind of like dream logic-y extra kill, you're like, we said this is the final one. So the Tommy thing works better.
Yeah, as much as I did miss not having the dream thing, because I've been a big fan of those.
They are confusing.
I do like this.
Right? I think
this
is, and I do like the idea that it's almost like, what's that Denzel Washington film? Fallen?
Oh, Fallen, yeah.
The idea it's leaping from person to person.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I think like I thought that with the ending of this, that it's either like the evil leaping or just the experience of being there has kind of like made him bad.
Yes.
Like,
it's like,
I'm into that.
Do you think you would have survived the final chapter?
It looked quite hot there, and I think
you got too much facial hair for Jason to be confused.
If I was in a big group of people who were going skinny dipping, I wouldn't want to in this, because they all go skinny dipping. Well, this is the thing.
Give you what a rule is.
But they all. This is the thing. I think peer pressure would have got me in the water, and I would have broken the rules. So.
No peer pressure is making me skinny dip.
Peer pressure would make me skinny dip.
I would sit on the thing and have a course.
Yeah.
On the pier and have a course.
That's
awesome. The life for me.
I want to do that as well.
Sitting on the dock of Crystal Lake having a course.
Well.
You do that with me. Well, so you would survive?
No.
You're straight in the...
I would have broken one of our rules.
Pants are off, straight in skinny dipping.
Definitely.
Right, well, luckily for you...
Yes.
It's only 10 weeks to go, but next week we're coming back for a new beginning.
I can't wait for this one.
The boy, is he dead too?
Ma'am, we didn't find any boy.